right, y'all. Welcome to the foil. This is Danny Cohen, and we managed to win another. How do I feel about it? I don't know. Dallas is now 5-1 in the division. We've got points in 8 of our last 9. We've scored 10 times in our last 2 games, and I've got mixed feelings about this game. Um, Before we get into all of it, if you like this content that I'm putting out there for you, do me a favor, subscribe, comment in the box below, like this, share it with your friends, post it on whatever board or whatever it is that you use. Help me get it out there. So, the Stars this year, they just don't dominate anyone. It seems like no matter how the game plays out, at the end, we're hanging on for a victory by the skins of our teeth. And it's a little bit concerning. I mean, the question is this a mirage? These victories that we're managing to pull off, or is this an elite team that is that's managing to scrape through with the injuries that we do have? And it's kind of hard to tell right now. I tend to be a little optimistic that once we get Duchesne and Ben and Nils Lundqvist back, that we're going to be a more dominant team. But the jury's still out, right? The Stars, for all of the wins that they've put together, they're now 8th ranked in the league, and our goal differential is a -3. So that kind of puts some numbers to what I'm talking about, where we haven't ever blown out a team this year. So I think in this game, the refs handed us this on a silver platter. We got a lot of very iffy, ticky tacky calls that worked in our favor. We went 1 for 5 on the power play, so we could have done more with that than we did. It wasn't awful, but we weren't lights out on the power play. Nashville had 10 more giveaways in this game than the Stars did. So you got to think that we had a lot of opportunities to capitalize on their mistakes. Ottinger was had a .810 save percentage on the night. He's got a .778 in his last 2 games. He's got a .893 on the season, which is very average. A lot of these shots were really good shots tonight that Nashville made. You got to give Nashville credit that they made the most of the opportunities that they had. I just question if Otter was a true elite goalie, which he is not. He's very good. He's right on that second tier of goalies, right? But if he was that next level up, would he have been able to stop one of these? And we're not just clinging to the victory at the end as we were here tonight. I think that some of the best goalies in the league, like a Shesterkin, makes that. How did he stop that save that we didn't see out of Ottinger tonight on any of these great shots that the Predators made? And we'll get into a little bit more of those shots and how it all played out here. Our depth players had a great night tonight. Bork had an awesome game. He had 1 goal, 1 assist. It was probably his best game of the year. I love to see that. I want the best for that kid. I think he is a special skill set that I'd really like to have work out in a meaningful capacity in the top 6 of our team moving forward. And if he keeps playing like he did last night, he will have that. So we got a goal from Adam Ernie. Steele managed to put another in. Ritzkovian had a great night. 1 goal on the game as well. I think I think Ritzkovian is probably earning himself a full time job here, even when these other players come back. There's going to be some tough decisions that are going to have to be made, right? When Duchesne and Ben come back in the lineup. So it's always fun to see how these early season rosters shake out, and I think we're about to get some answers as to who stays, who goes. Players like Ernie, um, uh, Ritzkovian, Bastion. I'm trying to think who else. Maybe Maverick Bork, but if he keeps playing like last night, that's not an option to send down. But there's a lot of guys that are on the bubble right now that you could Oscar Beck, that you could see end up being sent down to the AHL, that wouldn't be in the AHL on a team that was not as deep as we are. But that's a good position to be in. So Dallas had 4 even strength goals tonight, which is a good sign. I like to see that on this team that's been very heavily weighted towards the power play goals in the early goings of the season. So good on them for that. Um, Miko and Wyatt are establishing themselves as as the two top dogs on this team. They've got 21 and 19 points respectively. And then you've got Robo at a distant next best at 13 points in 15 games. So, and I think that's probably, I know we're early in the season, but I think that's probably pretty accurate. Those are our two best forwards. And it's good to see Wyatt really coming into his own. And I think we're going to see some monster years out of him starting effective immediately. So Wyatt picked up another power play assist tonight. He and Miko were number one and number two in the league in power play points coming into the game, with 12 and 10. 12 for Miko, 10 for Wyatt. So now Wyatt has 11. So just doing a bang up job on the extra man for those guys. Heiskanen had another 2 assists tonight. He's got 1 goal, 6 assists in the last 3 games played, and yet he's still a -1. So, what do you make of that? It's hard to tell, right? But we are seeing a lot of good things coming out of Heiskanen, who's now, I think, fourth on our team in scoring. I think he's got 12 points, something like that. Just just yes, he's got 3 goals, 9 assists, 12 points on the year. Offensively, you're looking pretty good. And then, on the flip side of it, both he and Harley had some defensive hand-eye coordination mistakes, some of which ended up in the back of our net here tonight. So Harley has only 1 assist in 6 games played, though he made a beauty of a pass, a third assist, if you will, that's not counted on the box score and in the stats that we'll talk about, where he made a excellent pass that if he doesn't make, we don't score on that last goal. So Miro looks more confident out there. Every game I see him looking more confident rushing the puck. His shot is even looking a little better, which is great. I thought Blackwell had a very good game tonight. He was hustling everywhere. He looked fast, just playing smart. Dallas has a combined 30 hits in the last 2 games, which is not so good, though I did see some good aggressive play out there tonight. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that, especially being that this was a divisional game. I do think that penalties may have played into the lack of physicality for large stretches of the game though tonight. So, we'll see how that trend develops over the next few games here. But I would like to see a little more fire coming from the team as a whole. And let's get into how the game played out. So in the first period, Um, Foxa had a nice leaping play where he is on the forecheck and jumps around the outside of um, the net. The goalie is, let's see, how did this play out? Yeah, the goalie's uh, coming out and he steals the puck, makes an immediate pass to a charging Blackwell. There's no goal on it, but it was a nice play by Fox. Those are the little things that he does. A lot of people don't like Foxa for whatever reason. I like Foxa. He may not be the flashiest player. He may not be the most productive player on the score sheets, but at the end of the day, he does a lot of good things out there, and he's very versatile player. He's the kind of player that I actually wish they had played up on the lineup a little bit more. I think people would have appreciated what he brings more if they would have seen him in with all the injuries that we had, taking a role like Sam Steele did, for instance, where it's not where you want him in an ideal world, but Fox has got a little bit of skill there too that he doesn't get enough credit for. So then the Stars get the first goal of the game, another rarity for the Stars this year, which was good. The Preds go for a high flip to start a line change, and Labushkin catches the puck at the center and dishes it to Miro, who skates up the ice, finds an open Bork who got behind the D, and we get a goal. So Bork doing some good work there, and we're up 1-0. So Miko later makes a beautiful move around a Nashville player and then gets a shot on goal. He's got such soft hands, especially for a big man. It's amazing to see the things that he can do with the puck. We have kind of a crappy power play, our second to the game. We don't score. Then later in the first period, Nashville closes the gap and ties the game 1-1. The Stars lose a D zone faceoff. There's a shot through a screen, high blocker. I have no idea how that got through. It was just a great shot, maybe a little lucky as well. But the placement was right. Lucky that it got through with as much traffic that it did. So then at the end of the period, Harley puts a nice hit on Evangelista. And it's good to see Harley do that. He doesn't do a whole lot of hitting. I don't know why. He's big. He's fast. He's 6'3", 6'4". He's a big old boy, and he should use that body more. So hopefully we get to see more of that from him. It would be a nice element to add to his game. The Stars start the second period with a power play, just like the last game, where we were actually on the penalty kill going into the second on a split penalty between the first and second periods. This is huge. These are momentum shifting type of situations, and the Stars capitalize on it. Uh, Hintz gets the goal here. Off the opening puck draw, it goes into our D zone with Heiskanen passing to Wyatt, who hits Hintz on the rush. Wyatt hits the jetpack and splits the D, goes 5-hole on the goalie. It's a done deal. It's now 2-1. So the Preds are taking more penalties. They got 4 straight penalties against the Stars. Stars are back on the power play. The Stars take a penalty off of the face-off on the power play, and it's a 4-on-4 immediately. Sagan hits the bar on this 4-on-4, and he has been snake bit with the posts. This is probably the third or fourth time in the last several games that Sagan has hit a post. He's looked good, and if he hadn't hit as many posts, he'd be looking really nice with what he'd be adding on the stat sheet. But anyway, he doesn't get that one. There's a good offensive zone forecheck by Blackwell that leads to a turnover and a prolonged attack. This is more of the stuff that Blackwell did really well all game. Just Charlie hustle, skating well. One of his best games of the early season. So later in the period, Nashville ties it up, and it's this time Otter makes a rare play of the puck behind the net, passes it to Miro, who's on the wall there, and Miro misses the puck. A horrible D zone mistake. It goes to a pred in our zone, and then it gets worked around. Eventually, it comes to Haig, who scores high glove after it ticks off a robo stick from distance on a screened Otter. So, that goal you got to put in large part on Miro for just not getting stick on puck there, and um, overall he had a good game. But that's the kind of stuff you make a mistake here. Ottinger makes a superb save that you don't think is possible, which we've seen with in the past. Goalies do this where they'll, it looks like it's going to go over them. They jump up, they get the shoulder up, they you know make a fantastic glove save. They come out, they make a poke check when it looks like you're doomed on a 2-on-1. There's things that goalies can do that just blow your mind, and you think it's a goal for sure, and it ends up staying out because of the effort of the goalie. I don't see that a lot from Ottinger, and a big part of that is because he's typically very good positionally and very big, so he doesn't have to make a lot of those heroic saves. But we just need one heroic save a game, and maybe one or two less defensive errors, like this one from Heiskanen, and now you've got a 2-goal game or a 3-goal game, and you're feeling more confident. I mean, winning by 1 goal, like it 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 doesn't breed the same kind of confidence, not just in the fans but within the players, that if you go out there and just smoke a team. So hopefully we can. We're not far off, but just a little bit of tweaks here and there. Bit of players stepping it up here and there, and this team can, I think, be the dominant team that we want them to be. We're dominating the play earlier in this game, and we have nothing to show for it. It's 2-2. So then it gets even worse, and it is Forsberg who gets the next goal for the Predators here. Harley misses cutting off the pass to the behind the net area with his stick. So kind of similar to the Heiskanen deal. Predators player who was not covered in the slot. Otter tries to protect against the wraparound, and he's already down and a little bit of out of position to play the shot here, as he gets beaten high glove by Forsberg off of the pass from behind the net. So later, I see Heiskanen with a nice D-zone takeaway. He did some really good things here tonight, and we have to give him credit for really the last 3 games here have been a really good step in the right direction, especially in the playmaking that we've seen from him. He's just been skating better too. So in this game, Hintz is also flying. There's another scoring chance for him. I see Ernie make have this brief ankle stick joust with another player where they're whacking each other in the shins, and that's good to see. We need players like Ernie doing that kind of stuff. That's what they're out there to do in large part. He did that. He also ends up scoring tonight, so he had a good game. I see Harley with another good play here, where he with a forecheck along the wall that keeps it in the O-zone. So he's pinching a little bit there, and doing it the right way. Ernie, again, I see some good stuff out of him. He's really strong. He looks really strong on his skates. Some guy tried to hit him and just went absolutely flying, which is always entertaining to watch. The Stars get another power play, the 5th power play here, through 2 periods. A lot of chances, but no goal. this is another opportunity where you can put that buffer between us and Nashville. We don't do it. Um, and then let's see. Then we get into the third period, and Bischel with an uncalled cross check. He had a little bit of some feist in his game here tonight, which was good to see. Bork has another nice shot on the fly here. He looked very good for large portions of the game tonight. But then there's another goal here. Ritzkovian ties the game at 3. He gets the zone entry and dumps. Bork on the forecheck steals the puck behind the net and makes an immediate pass on his back with eyes in the back of his head. Um, it's a short backhand pass to his left to Oscar Beck, who then centers it to Ritzkovian in the slot. There's a pad stop by the goalie, and then on the rebound, Ritzkovian is able to elevate and he scores. Great effort by Ritzkovian at the beginning and end of that play. So that was an interesting line. I like that line of Ritzkovian, Bork, and Oscar Beck, kind of a youngster line that they put together. I'd like to see more of that. Maybe a little youthful enthusiasm to earn some bigger roles would come out of that line there. And those guys played with each other in the AHL, right? So there's a lot of familiarity there as well. So Dallas is now out shooting the Preds 19-11, yet the score is 3-3. So Miro with a quick point shot. He's looking more confident with his shots, like we mentioned before here. And then I see him make a good poke check play. Very noticeable all game. Bischel had a defensive stop, playing the body a little bit and riding the player wide into the boards, denying a chance. I thought Bischel had a pretty good game here tonight. And then Weissblatt tries to blindside our previously concussed, I'm assuming, Rupe Hintz and just misses. I was sweating bullets on that one. And then Bischel immediately boards Tyson Yost after that, which seemed like it was a little bit of a retaliatory play after the blindside attempted hit on Hintz, which, man, we're lucky that wasn't worse than it was. And anyway, Bischel takes the penalty, and we don't get bailed out on it. That's one of those penalties where I like the aggressive play. I like him coming back at Weissblatt or coming back at Nashville for the attempted big hit on Hintz there. At least that's what it looked like it was to me. And these are the kind of plays where you want your team to bail your guy out who's doing the team a solid. They don't. Stamkos has a goal here. It's a nice one-timer that's placed pretty damn well to the side of Otter before he can get over there. It's a quick pass. It was a quick shot. The question is it stoppable? If Ottinger was a little smaller, say he was Igor Shesterkin size at 6'1", is he able to get over on that play to stop the cross ice shot just a touch quicker, which is, we're talking split seconds difference, makes the world of difference here. And that's where I don't know. I think on some of those it is, and so you got to kind of take some of the good with the bad of being 6'6". I don't think it's the ideal size for an elite goalie, but we'll see. Maybe Ottinger will prove me wrong and take it to that next level and be in that true elite group of goalies. I sure hope he does. So, the problem that we have right now, and this is going back to the Bishop play, one of the problems that we have is if you if you're playing with that physical edge, where if somebody takes a liberty on your player, you go back at them and you make it right by taking a liberty on one of their players. You have to have a good penalty kill to bail out some of your players when they're taking what I would call a good penalty. Um, and right now, our penalty kill is just not there. It's one of the worst in the league. And that is something that if we are going to be right now, we're eighth ranked in the league with a lot of these overtime losses and a -3 goal differential. I think that there's a lot of smoke and mirrors there. If we're going to remain in this upper echelon of the league, and if we're going to make a deep run into the playoffs, we have got to get the penalty kill figured out. That's one of our top priorities, if not the top priority. So hopefully we can sort that out here. It's still very early in the season. Um, there's been at this point in the game, there's been 4 goals on 13 shots for Otter. It's the second game in a row with a horrible save percentage. Right, this time is a little bit less on him than it was on Anaheim, but still. And Later in that period, I see Robo with the reverse hit. I love that play. I've seen it now from a few of our players in the last couple games. So good to see that. Robo's a big boy. He can do some damage when if and when he decides to use his body. I'd like to see him do more of it. Steele and Miko have some block shots. It's good to see Miko. Miko just contributes all over the ice. Awesome to see. Steele is such a good player in all zones. Then later in that period, Dallas gets the goal. Uh, Blackwell is having another great shift here. He's skating like hell. He's putting on some moves. He's shooting the puck. He gets the zone entry. He goes behind the net. While skating with speed, he makes a deft backhand pass to a net front parked Ernie, who elevated a hard wrister to beat Saros high glove, all while following have you in the opposite direction of the shot. So it's a pretty surprisingly skilled play from Ernie, who you don't count on to get those kind of goals. He did what he needs to do. He went to the net. Great game for him. Then later we get the game-winning goal of the game here by Sam Steele. Harley moves the puck with his feet to the neutral zone, and he makes a beautiful bank pass around. He avoids the Nashville player. It could have gone back our other way had he not played this so beautifully. He banks it off of the far wall to Miko. And this is that third assist, if you will, that he doesn't get credit for on the scoreboards, but we got a pat on the back in the locker room. So it goes to Miko off of that beautiful bank pass, and Miko makes a beautiful pass in his own right. He hits the brakes. So for this split second, he's able to open up a passing lane to Johnston. Johnston quickly settles the puck down that was in his feet while moving. Another beautiful play here and makes the backhand pass to Steele on the 2-on-1 who beats Saros high. It was a great, talented play by that entire group of players. I encourage you to rewatch that goal because just a lot of really good things happen all in rapid succession here to make that goal happen. So then immediately after this goal, Tallis takes a tripping call. I see Petrovic hit Weissblatt. They're still going at him, I think, and doing it in such a way in this instance where we're not taking a penalty. Dallas takes another penalty later after killing the first while they're getting swarmed in the late game, dying minutes here. And then, we're playing with fire. This is one of the things where you don't want to try to recreate this win because we're walking a very fine line We ended up killing 2 penalties in the last 10 minutes, and we get the regulation win. Ottinger made a couple good saves to close out the game. Um, Say what you will about Otter not necessarily being in the elite of elite goalies, but he tends to play his best hockey when it's late in games and in overtime. So he turns it on when the pressure's highest, and he's a very good goalie. And I don't think these last 2 games are indicative of what we're going to see from him going forward in terms of his save percentage by any means. But good on him to close out the game the way that he did to help us lock it down. The Dallas penalty kill ended up being 75% on the night. So we're kind of still struggling there, as we talked about before. Shots were even. This is a game where, Nashville's just not a good team. They're in the bottom group of teams in the league in terms of points. Shots were even. So, the play was more even than you'd like it to be. We had a very good start, and then it kind of derailed for us there. With the win, though, we bunny hop over the Mammoth finally, and at least temporarily past the Jets as well for second in the division. The Jets have a game in hand on us, so we'll see if we stay where we are. And we go to Seattle tomorrow, which should be another tough game, one that is sneaky tough. Should be a fun one to watch. They're another fast team, which is a little bit of our kryptonite, so we'll see how we deal with that. Thank you all for watching. If you want to reach me, I can be reached at the Foil Hockey. That is THE Foil Hockey at gmail.com.